Breaking news right now. We are just now learning that Senator Mitch McConnell is still in the hospital. That, according to a spokesperson for the former Senate leader. The statement reads, Senator McConnell appreciates the outpouring of support he's receiving while he continues his recovery in the hospital. The senator continues to improve and is working closely with his staff and make that his staff on Kentucky and Senate matters while the Senate is out of session. It comes as NBC News learns that paramedics did CPR on somebody experiencing cardiac arrest at Senator McConnell's home on June 14th, the day that he was hospitalized. That according to fire dispatchers on the scanner audio.
Medical local paramedic engine 3, medic 3, ALS response unconscious.
CPR in progress.
EMS 2 response for cardiac arrest.
It's fire EMS dispatch right there. And according to the audio, the first medic who arrived to McConnell's house started giving somebody CPR before another EMS team arrived on the scene as well. NBC Sahil Kapur joins us now. The audio seems to raise more questions about the possibility that this was life-threatening. What have you learned based on being on Capitol Hill and working the halls?
Well, Tom, Senator McConnell has not been spotted anywhere in the Senate or on Capitol Hill since this incident occurred. By my count, he has missed the last 21 votes. There is no timeline for his return. I think just covering him and following him for many years, he has certainly slowed down over the last few years. Sometimes we can see him in a wheelchair being wheeled on and off the Senate floor to vote. Sometimes he has aides around him helping him walk in certain places. His office did not reveal the details of this incident. They did say, however, in a June 14th statement, and let's show it, that Senator McConnell was admitted to the hospital this morning. He is receiving excellent care, end quote. That's from his spokesman, David Popp, on the day of June 14th. In subsequent statements, the spokesman said he's been working with staff, that he's fully engaged both on Senate matters, Kentucky business. The Senate is currently on recess until July 13th, and then it's back for just a few weeks and then gone for a month. So we don't know when Senator McConnell will be back, but he is still representing the state of Kentucky through the end of this year until his term expires.
He's 84 years old. He's supposed to be retiring in January, right? And as we've reported, this is not his first serious health scare.
That's right. He announced well ahead of this cycle that he would not be running for re-election. He also stepped down after a remarkable 18-year run as Senate Republican leader, the longest ever in January of 2025. And you're correct. There have been multiple health issues that he's faced in recent years. Let's take a look at some of them. This incident, June 14th, he was hospitalized. February 2026, he spent more than a week in the hospital with what his staff described as flu-like symptoms. He was spotted in using a wheelchair on multiple occasions, getting help walking, as I mentioned. 2023, he tripped during a D.C. dinner and was hospitalized with a concussion. The same year, he had multiple on-camera freezes during press conferences that got quite a bit of attention. About 4 years earlier, he fell at home, fractured his shoulder. As I mentioned, he was the Senate Republican leader for 18 years until just last year. His responsibilities have reduced since he gave up that position, but he is still the chair of the powerful Senate Rules Committee and a senior member of the Appropriations Committee, Tom.
Well, listen, we wish him well. We wish him a speedy recovery, whatever's going on. Sahil Kapur, thank you very much.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.